Before the super sleuths and action heroes, there was one man who stood for the heart of the British community. In 1950, he played a character so iconic that he would become the face of the British police for decades. Jack Warner wasn't born into acting royalty. Born in Bromley-by-Bow, East London, he worked as a motor mechanic and even a clerk before finding his voice on the stage. He was a true man of the people. By 1944, Warner was a staple of the BBC's Garrison Theatre. He provided the laughs and the familiar Cockney warmth that soldiers needed during the final years of the war. He was more than an actor, he was a comrade. In 1946, he starred in The Captive Heart. This film about prisoners of war showed that Warner had the dramatic chops to move beyond simple comedy. He captured the quiet dignity of the British soldier perfectly. Starting in 1947, Warner became the patriarch of the Huggett family. These films were the soap operas of their day, depicting the everyday life of a British family navigating the challenges of post-war rationing. Warner's portrayal of Joe Huggett was revolutionary. He didn't mock the working class, he celebrated them. He showed the resilience and the vegetarian Sunday lunches of families making the most of their garden patches. As the 40s drew to a close, Warner began to look for more serious roles. He wanted to move away from the jolly persona and find something that reflected the changing, grittier atmosphere of post-war London. At the 40% mark of this narrative, we find 1950, The Blue Lamp. Jack Warner played PC George Dixon. It was meant to be a minor role, but Warner's presence was so commanding it changed the course of his life. The scene where George Dixon is shot shocked the nation. It was one of the most talked about moments in British cinema history. The audience's reaction was so intense that the character had to be resurrected for television later. In 1951, he showed his versatility in Valley of Song. Set in a Welsh village, it highlighted his ability to blend into any community. He was the ultimate everyman actor, never standing above his audience. Warner was known for his incredible work ethic. He would often stay late on set to talk to the crew, sharing his simple vegetarian sandwiches, typically cheese and pickle, and listening to their stories. By 1952, in Emergency Call, Warner had perfected the role of the dependable authority figure. This 80% mark in our story shows how he became the father figure to an entire generation of Britons. In a world that was changing fast, Warner provided stability. He represented the old-fashioned values of honesty, hard work, and community spirit that many felt was slipping away in the early 50s. His performance in The Blue Lamp led directly to Dixon of Dock Green, one of the longest-running series in history. But it was his work in the late 40s that made him the most trusted man in Britain. Jack Warner was awarded an OBE for his services to acting. He remained humble, often stating that he was just a Cockney who got lucky, but his fans knew it was more than luck, it was genuine heart. Every police drama you watch today owes a debt to Jack Warner. He moved the copper from a comic caricature to a complex, breathing human being with a moral compass. Jack Warner's journey from 1944 to 1952 is the journey of post-war Britain itself. From the struggle of the war to the hope of a new decade, he was there, a steady hand on the nation's shoulder. So here's to Jack Warner, the underrated hero who taught us that the greatest strength lies in kindness and community. A true legend of the United Kingdom. Do you remember the classic days of British law and order? Subscribe to United Kingdom Repo for more deep dives into the actors who shaped our history.